You look struck, lass. First time seeing a sea monster? I guessed as much. Care for a pint? Usually helps. Well, the fact that you haven't spilt your lunch all over deck yet means you'll fit right in. Soon enough. We all take a bit to get used to it all. The waves, the shouting, the blood. I wasn't born with a lance in my hand, you know. Oh? And what do the history books say? Well, never knew I was that famous. Well, what else does it say? Ah. Now that one, I'm not so sure about. I mean, it was so long ago I can barely remember it myself. I don't know all the details. Tell it to you. What am I, a bard? Fine. Settle down. Not so seasick now, are you? Clever. Saying the beast was big would be a great disservice to its sheer size. The thing was as wide as 2 royal palaces and just as tall. It had teeth as sharp as swords, as big as my head, and hundreds of them. Despite its mass, it was swift, made up of only muscle. So coming close to it carelessly would mean certain death. I'm getting to that. At first, we let the cannoneers do their job, but it moved too quickly for them, and soon we were out of shots. Yes, that's where I come in. I climbed the mast with the spear on my back, prayed to everything above. That was all I needed. I'm getting there. When I got up there, I looked down to see the creatures circling the ship beneath the water. I knew I had to hit somewhere soft, an eye or the mouth, and so I turned towards Crazy Joe, who had been watching the whole thing, and asked, "Are you up for a game?" Yep, of course he said yes. It's Crazy Joe. He'll agree to anything as long as you promise him a pint. So I told him, "Jump when I say," and steadied myself, because I'm no Crazy Joe, and this wasn't something easy to do. Oh, I was deathly afraid, but I was the crew's last hope. I would not disappoint them, of that I was sure. So I told him to jump towards the water, and just as he did, the beast's great open jaws rose from under the water right below Crazy Joe. Oh, it was a sight. A lesser pirate would have stayed glued to the floor, but not me. I took aim, pulled my arm back, waited just a moment more. Ow! Okay. No need for such violence. I waited a moment more and finally sent my lance flying towards its eye, and it, unsurprisingly, made contact. Okay, that's not the whole thing. Crazy Joe had a bomb and dropped the thing inside the monster's mouth and probably scorched its insides. We'll never know, because the thing sank to the bottom of the ocean right after. Oh yeah, they're usually that big. At least the ones that attack ships. The smaller ones are usually herbivores. What's that face for? Don't tell me I scared you again. We dealt with it, didn't we? Then we'll deal with it again, especially with the extra help. I meant you. Oh, don't be modest. A pirate's life is all about bragging to anyone that can hear it. Well, anyone but the authorities. I see great things in your future. Nope. No prophecies here. Just a feeling. And the first tip I'll give you is this. Out at sea, the only things you can trust are the stars and your gut. Well, I don't remember ever being wrong. No, that's what I meant with the bragging comment. This is encouraged. My boundless knowledge, huh? Well, you're still a bit green, but I guess it's as good as any time to start learning. Let's start with the lance. You must know how to hold it properly, no matter what your role on the ship ends up being. The captain will decide that. I can only give advice on those matters. This should be the lightest one, good for beginners. Hold it tightly, but not too much. I mean, hold it, don't grip it. Having a stiff grip on a lance can cause many accidents and will narrow your movement in battle, so hold it, don't grip it. Where you grip is something you need to figure out according to your balance. Your hands can't be too close nor too far apart. That feel good? Alright then. Now, there are two ways to use a lance. You use it like a sword or a giant arrow. To do the first, you keep this grip I taught you and move your hands as you need to. Keep your feet apart to stay balanced and ready to move, and don't be afraid to take one hand off the shaft if you need to. To use it as an arrow, you need to breathe deep, aim, and send it. Remember to use your whole body to carry momentum through. It'll fly farther that way. You can never throw it too hard. When dealing with sea beasts or humans, there's no such thing as too much momentum. The worst thing that can happen, which will happen a lot in the beginning, is it taking you off your feet. It happens to everyone at the start. It's all on your feet. Let me show you. You gotta level your hips with the ground, keep your knees unlocked so that the momentum runs through you, and widen your stance a bit. Perfect. Always remember, sea beast hide is always thick, so you gotta put your back into it. Why do you think I have all this muscle? Not the whole reason, no. I also like to see how green beans like you gawk when I roll my sleeves up. You're just too cute. Don't show that face to anyone else, sugar. Because one, pirates don't blush, so you'll never hear the end of it. And two, I'd like to be the only one who gets to see it. See that? We'll cook you alive for that. Not me, though, because that'd make me a hypocrite. The newbie stations are being assigned tomorrow. Pray you'll end up with mine.